Hello, it's Richard here at Poplars Farm Shop. We are just loading up some potatoes into a big bulk lorry. It's going to take around about 28 tonnes of spuds. These are destined to go to a place for processing, so there's a place where it just turns these potatoes into something else. They're not fried potatoes, they're not going to McCain's, these aren't. These are just Wiltshire. So there we go. I'll sort of take a few pictures as we're loading. So here we are. I've got all the potatoes out of the shed with the other forklift, and then we just box tip them in.
Give yourself a try for anyone.
And the box tips the box over, you can see, and all the potatoes come out and into the trailer. These boxes hold a ton of spuds. There's my dad getting the spuds out with the other forklift. There we go, back in. Here we have the start of this year's pumpkin event. Hi, it's Richard here at Poplars Farm Shop. We are just planting potatoes, but while I've got somebody helping me, I thought I'd just show you how the actual machine works. So here we've got all the potatoes in the back of the planter. They flow through, get dropped in the ground like that at equal spacings, and then as it flows through, you see the potatoes, they slowly get covered up by this ridging hood, which leaves the potatoes two nice neat ridges, just like that. And here we go, here's our big forklift, and we now put potatoes. They come in these big jumbo bags, and these are what the seed potatoes are. Now, as you can see, which is probably what happens in your cupboards, potatoes are just starting to grow. That's the little shoots on the end of the spuds, look. There you go. These are actually Maris Piper, so these are for our shop, for people that like Maris Piper, but also possibly for chip shops. And this year we have sold some Maris Piper to McCain's and also to Aunt Bess's to be made into roast potatoes that you buy in the frozen packets at Aldi and Lidl. So yeah, we get any excess that we don't sell through the shop, that's where they go. So then we just lift the bag up gently, just to let the potatoes all flow out. And then just fill up the hopper slowly. Just trying to make sure we don't spill them everywhere. There we go. And this plant can hold 1.25 tons of seed potatoes. fertiliser. This will make the potatoes grow really well. We'll show you it going into the ground in a minute. Like pellets look in my hand. This is artificially made and it contains potash, phosphate and nitrogen. It comes in these big 600 kilo bags that we lift up with our forklift and put into the front. These legs fold down into the ground and the wheel on that side meters the fertiliser down, and then it falls down the tube into the ground, and then it gets placed inside the potatoes. There we go. That is how we plant potatoes. These It's Richard here at Poplars Farm shop. We're out in the strawberries today. We've got this year's plants been delivered and we've got some staff coming today to help us plant them. We've got 3 different varieties. We've got Corona, Eros and Florence down the far end. We have 3 different varieties so that they all fruit at different times, so they don't all come at once. The Eros, which we had the least amount over there, are the ones that did the best for us. So we've actually increased the area of these to nearly half of this patch. The Corona should come first and then we should have the Florence later on. And these are the patch we planted 2 years ago. They should really fruit heavily this time, so maybe about 6 or 7 weeks time we should have plenty of strawberries to come and pick. And I'll film throughout the day so that you can see how we're doing it. We've laid them all out and ripped the holes in the plastic. We've laid all the plants down on the plastic and they made all the holes at the right spacings. Then we just take a fancy pusher and take the plant and it just gets pushed into the ground like so. And that is our little strawberry plant planted. And the same again. And we use 2 hands. So we've got 15,000 of these to do today. Another thing we're doing today, we're out spraying our oilseed rape. You see we've got the bees on here pollinating it all, and the flowers are just beginning to set into pods. These will eventually turn into little black seeds that we use for cooking oil. So this is rapeseed oil. You can see I'm stood in it and it's actually as tall as me. It's a tall crop. We've got the sprayer out. We're actually spraying the petals of the oilseed rape so that when the petals fall off and they stick to the stems, we don't get disease. So there we go. I'll take film of us in the tractor in a second. Here we are in the tractor driving through. It looks like a pretty good crop. The sprayer. They're all controlled by GPS. Making sure we don't overlap or overdose the crop. Out with the sprayer today in our milling wheat. We're spraying it for, I'll show you, rust. So we're protecting new growth on this wheat so that we don't get this. This damages how much the plant can photosynthesize, and so damages the yield of the crop. I think you can see all that sort of fungus growing on there. It's bright yellow, so it really shows up if I miss any. So there we go. Beautiful morning. Just out today, we're covering up our vegetables. As you can see, we've just finished putting the herbicide on and we've got a bit of fertiliser on the ground as well. You can see from this plant here that the pigeons have already started to have a nibble at them. We don't put the covers on until we've got the herbicide on to stop the weeds, but we're a bit slow putting the covers on. But they should recover nicely and hopefully we'll get a bit of rain. Here we are doing some veg planting. At the moment we're planting cauliflowers, but we're going to move on to broccoli in a minute. We've got the tractor keeping us nice and straight. Putting fertiliser down on the ground in front of us. So we've got the tractor coming on, it's being controlled by GPS. We're putting fertiliser down where the plants are going to grow. Transplanter, powered by these wheels. Cups go round, plants in the cups. Like that. We've got broccoli being planted at the moment. These fall down, and then through there. They're firmed in by these big wheels at the back. That's not in focus. Here we are in one of our wheat crops. It's obviously moved on since I sprayed it, since the video where you saw the yellow rust. As you can see, it's quite tall now. We've got the flag leaves out, so that we'll need to spray this again very shortly just to protect that, because that's where the majority of the yield comes from this leaf. And you'll see from where we sprayed it before, see the remains of what was the yellow rust has now disappeared. It's not got any active spores on it anymore. You can't really see, but yeah. So we did a good job with that last spray. There we go, our Skyfall milling wheat. While we were out in the field, I thought I'd just split open one of the wheat plants we've got out here. As you can see, that's the ear that's in the inside of the plant, just moving up the inside through all the leaves. So yeah, another week or so and he'll begin to emerge out. And that will become what we actually combine in a few months' time. We're out in the strawberries. We've had a bit of a tidy up of the rows. We've just got to spray down the middle and put the straw down soon. But as you can see, we've got lots of strawberries coming. And there is just a few just beginning to turn. Now we're hopeful we possibly might have some ready for the bank holiday, the Queen's Jubilee. But we'll just have to wait and see how they develop just in the next few days. So yeah, there we go. So just keep your eye on the Facebook page and we'll post when there's enough ready to let people out and come and pick some. Bit windy, but we are now out in the pumpkins. These are some that we've planted from seeds. As you can see, they're growing really nicely. Probably could do with a bit of fertiliser soon. You can see them all in the rows, all over the field. These are just your normal orange ones. Probably this variety gets sort of football sized. And then as we go across the field, we sort of plant them in different rows and different varieties. And as you can see, all the way up there, and all the way across the field, lots and lots of pumpkins. They grow quite slowly at this stage, but soon they'll get a bit of a move on and they soon cover the ground. So I'll keep you updated on how they're growing. Hi, Richard here at Poplars Farm shop again. Today I thought I'd bring you out and show you our early potatoes growing. I've just pulled a root up. As you can see, they're coming along nicely. I think we're probably still a couple of weeks away from actually being able to dig any ourselves with our machine. We might be able to dig some by hand, perhaps for next week, maybe the week after. We'll just see how they grow. They've got a bit of moisture to grow with now, but as you can see, they're looking lovely. These are Maris Bard. They are a chipping variety really, but they do grow fast and they make lovely sort of new potatoes, scrapers. So you just scrape the skin off, there you go, look, just with your finger or a cloth and just cook them, and they're lovely. There you go, and they're just coming into flower as well. Flowers don't last very long on potatoes, but yeah, there you go, potatoes. I'll just go and show you what's happening with our pumpkins as well. We're out in the pumpkins. They're looking really good now. These are all, this field is all orange pumpkins. As you can see, we've got honeybees in the flowers. Now, these are pollinating them. And you can see the pumpkins just starting to form inside the plants. But looking really good. They're really enjoying this hot weather, but they could do with a bit of water soon. Out in the veg now, and as you can see, we've got some broccoli coming. Looking a bit funny in shape, but I think it's the heat that we're getting at the moment. We could really do with some rain for all these brassicas. I think we're very close to having a few cauliflowers. He's a bit small, but there's another one there. Perhaps start cutting some of these small ones for the shop tomorrow. What else have we got over here? We've got some cabbages. These are nice hispy cabbages. They're really nice if you just fry them up with a bit of butter. Just slice it up and fry with butter. Then over here we've got some primo cabbages. And the savoys are just coming. Might be able to cut some of these tomorrow. They're just beginning to get a bit of a heart to them. But yeah, so the veg is looking good. The next planting date we've got underneath these covers. Again, collies, but again, they are actually there underneath the sheet. So perhaps take some of these sheets off in the next couple of days. I think we're over the risky pigeon damage now. We've got some oilseed rape cut, so the pigeons move on to the stubbles rather than eating these brassicas. Good. We've also got curly kale in the shop now. This is really nice. If you just break the leaves off, strip out the centre core bit, leave all the sort of fluffy outside leaves on a baking tray, and just cover it in olive oil and garlic and a bit of salt, and just roast it for about 4 or 5 minutes. It goes all crispy like the crispy seaweed you get at the Chinese's, and it's really tasty, really nice for a snack. We've also got Cavolo Nero, used quite widely in Italian cooking. You can chop it up and put it in with pasta. Again, another nice one. And then I've got some red kale as well, red curly kale, just to add a bit of colour to your plate. Also ready, we've got some red cabbages. They're a bit small, but I think we'll get some cut for the shop for tomorrow. In this hot weather, red cabbage coleslaw. Look online for some recipes. Hiya, Richard here at Poplars Farm shop. Here's me on the combine. We are cutting oilseed rape today. As you can see, it's doing quite nicely. It's feeding in the combine and it's arriving in the tank behind me. It's a bit mucky, we haven't quite set it up properly yet. So we're just going to have a fiddle with it and see if we can get the sample a bit cleaner. But there we are, Sunday in the oilseed rape. It's got lots to do. And here we have the oilseed rape in the tank. As you can see, it's all the little black seeds, and these can be crushed to make vegetable oil. Hi, it's Richard here at Poplars Farm Shop. Next Wednesday, which is the 31st of August, we are going to be opening up our maize trail and sunflowers. As you can see, we've planted lots of different varieties of sunflower this time. It didn't quite go according to plan because we've got lots and lots of yellow sunflowers which haven't quite come out yet. But by the time we wait for them to come out, these colourful ones are going to be finished. We're going to let you out here. You can pick your own. There's red ones, white ones. There's gigantic ones. I mean that compared to me, it's nearly half my height again. So yeah, but it's going to be free to do. It's just we're going to sell the sunflowers by the stem. And in weeks to come we'll have plenty going forward. Good. Have a look at the pictures in this album as well to see what we've got. Hi, it's Richard here at Poplars Farm Shop. It is Friday today. We're out in our cauliflowers that are just ready at the moment. We've got Glenn over there picking purple cauliflowers. I just thought I'd show you what we're picking. So, cauliflowers. They've really enjoyed this wetter couple of weeks we've had. So we've got some absolute ginormous ones for sale in the shop now, today. So there you go, look at him. If you look at how big he is compared to my hand, it's a good hand-sized cauliflower. Thought I'd show you what else we've got growing. We've tried growing a few herbs this time. We've got some curly parsley growing as well at the moment. Not for sale quite in shop. We're going to let it get a little bit bigger. We've got the Brussels sprouts coming for Christmas next to these cauliflowers. Not going to be as tall as last year, but again it's the lack of rain that we've at the right time for these. But they're still looking very pretty. What else are we selling in the shop today? So we've got our own beetroot, our own carrots, we've got kale, curly kale. We've picked a few pumpkins for the shop now. We've got Savoy cabbage, pispy cabbage, we've got purple sprouting, we've got broccoli. Yeah, so plenty that we've got homegrown at the moment in our shop. So come down and have a look.